Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Napoleon, and today I'm back with another Enlisted video, and today we have a lot of new stuff because last week I didn't do anything because last week was quite boring. Of course, this is this week now, and we have a lot of new stuff, mostly the new metas and Enlisted answering our questions about the new progression, which is very, very important, might I add. But that said, without further ado, let's get started with this video, which has been made possible for the friends at Discord, and viewers like you, meaning that if you haven't liked, subscribed, or joined the Discord, I highly suggest that you do. Well, let's get started. Before we even have to talk about the new Enlisted meta, we have to answer your questions, or do the other stuff, which is the mod digest, Walking in Far Land, which gives us a lot of new mods, update 0.4.47, and update 0.4.4.79, which basically increases the stuff for anti-aircraft guns, such as the 72K, which is currently Event Squad, and other stuff, your missions in and your rewards and event, and other stuff like that. A lot of interesting stuff. The screenshot contest, update 0.4.4.88, and yeah, basically a lot of interesting stuff that fixes bugs. Update 0.4.4.90, which is pretty much the exact same thing. And yeah, that's very, very good. And finally, we have the new meta, which is probably the thing that you guys are interested in, because I'm just going to skip everything else because they are either bug fixes, mod digest, or just other stuff that is very, very interesting. But that said, it is going to be the new meta, the answers. So Enlisted has come out with the new progression, and if you haven't figured what's going on about that, I made tons of videos about that, so watch that please. And this time they're going to be doing about questions and answers for your stuff. A few important things that I was asking about and wondering is, number one, the progression, which they have quote-unquote answered by saying, in the new Enlisted progression, we won't be represented by campaigns, but by countries. The progression you'll achieve, for example, for the United States and Normandy, and in the Pacific, will be combined and transferred to one nation, United States, and Enlisted. That is for USA Pacific and USA Normandy. In the development tree, you will have those squads, weapons, and vehicles that you manage to get at least one campaign in each individual country. And if you're wondering which country that is, as of right now, we don't know, although we have a good idea. Some people saying it's going to be Germany, Soviet USA, and that's it. But if you look closely at this image right here that I have open right now, you have the Japanese, which is also confirmed, by the way. You have the Italians, you have the Germans, you have the Soviets, you have the United States, and the British. So basically all those 6 factions might be in game. I honestly don't know about them because besides Japan, I've confirmed everyone, Germany, USA, and the Soviets, and Japan, but I'm not sure about Italy and the UK, so we don't really know about that. But needless to say, in the development tree, you have the squads, meaning that in the new development mechanic, you can choose the squad vehicles that you want and experience gathering battles to use to research them. Or in other words, your progression will be pretty much the same, but you can choose to switch some things or skip some things altogether. And of course, there's going to be 4 levels. For example, if you have Germany maxed out, then you're pretty much just going to have Germany as a squad, and you pretty much have all the weapons in Germany. Obviously, a few questions that I have that are kind of not answered is, if you only play Berlin Axis, then are you just going to be getting all the late end war stuff, or is Enlisted going to be doing something else? I know a lot of people have been coming up with their own answers, but no offense to you guys, we really need Enlisted clear-cut answers. If they don't give us that, we are in deep trouble, or at least deep trouble. The weapons, vehicles, squads, and their slots. In already existing weapons, vehicles will remain in your warehouse, so you don't have to buy a lot of stuff. And the full access pack and slug rail will be count on exclusive content. Basically, it will disappear if you don't buy them right now. Unified currency. Silver is the new currency. Voila. You will expect silver together with experience at the end of battles, just like the same that you receive orders. So basically, you can earn silver however you want by fighting battles. So think of gold, but think of coins, but you're just earning them in battle, and it's instead of coins, it's silver. It's not necessary to rush out and spend your orders right now because you don't really need to. You will be getting silver at the same exchange rate, which is roughly the same amount that you bought them, which is quite ambiguous considering the fact that I have no idea what they're talking about. Next, new training for soldiers, in the sense that the Q&A for soldiers and their ability remains unchanged. In the new Enlisted, we have the ability to make it more diverse at the same time simplified. For example, the game will not require your regain combat experience over time and remove already earned abilities. Meaning, All your abilities right now will stay the same, which is thank God, I guess. What will happen to my squads? Now we are getting into the Q&A, and the first question is, what will happen to my squads? Well, you'll keep them, of course, which, if they don't keep them, then there's something wrong with the game. But we'll even try to get their lineups for every single campaign of Enlisted. What will happen to the customizations, which is kind of one of the questions I was asking about, when the campaigns are combined into a country. For the USSR, I can get to Normandy at the beginning of World War II and Berlin at the end of the war, but lost uniforms of soldiers in the Red Army have changed since then, which is true. Each squad has several clothing options we will associate with battle locations. You will be able to change squad clothing locations in each of these variants individually. So I'm assuming what they're talking about is that we're going to have a HUD, which allows us to change during the interface. Well, I mean, not the game interface, but like during the main menu selection, and we'll be able to change the various clothes for various, essentially, campaigns and various settings. For example, if it's a winter zone, then we can have winter uniforms. For each squad, we have several clothing options we'll associate with the battle location, like I said, and you will be able to change squad location in each of these variants individually. All clothing items already purchased will be kept, which is interesting. Will you be combining campaigns? I mean, if you play, for example, on the beaches of Normandy while playing as the USSR. And the answer is no. They give us a very long answer, which I'm just going to simplify to no. Basically, if you are like... It's not going to be historically inaccurate, which is good. You're not going to be storming the beaches as the Germans. You're not being storming the Normandy beaches unless you're the Japanese. And you're definitely not going to be storming the beaches unless you're like Italian. So, yeah. So that's interesting. For every future separate country is ready for the merge of campaigns into countries. For example, the current maximum power for the Japanese army lacks the strength to compare to the United States. What will happen in that situation? That's simple. Japan is going to be having a matchmaking restriction, which is very helpful. Now, my question is that going to be the same for Italy and the UK, which like I said, I can't even confirm if they're in the game yet, so yeah, that's that. What about the stuff I earned in events? The stuff I purchased from the battle pass, all the hard-earned stuff I've gained, and basically they'll stay with you, so that's the short answer. What about different orders like soldier level ups and silver orders? They will be kept, you will be given them away in special events. The same goes for everything else, including gold orders, and we'll only exchange bronze and silver orders to silver. So basically, if you have bronze and silver order, they are going to be eventually upgraded to bronze. Or should I say, transferred to bronze. With the new progression, how will the in-between content be added and displayed? Well, so basically, Enlisted is doing a progression system now. And like War Thunder, if you guys don't know War Thunder, if they decide to add a new stuff, they'll just put it in wherever they want or wherever they think is quote-unquote fair. And they probably just do that, and this is what Enlisted has basically said to us. So yeah, honestly, if you talk about this new system, is not that bad, but at the same time, I see why people in the community are slightly afraid, and that is putting it mildly. Will the overall player progression be slower? No. You heard me. The amount of content remains unchanged. Basically what it's trying to say now, no, the same progression is going to be there, but you have the ability to skip some weapons, which, if you ask me, it's kind of like essentially decreasing the, the progression, but at the same time it's not, so good luck. Short questions. How will I find my soldier equipment rating? The individual pieces of equipment will be shown on their cars. The maximum rating will be also set in inference. How will the rating party be determined? Well, it's basically how War Thunder does it, by rating the highest rating of its member. In Stalingrad, engineers could use assault rifles. What happens to this mechanic? Such squads will not change and will be transferred with other mechanics, but heavy weapon stamina drain while aiming will be removed. Thank the Lord Jesus! Thank you Enlisted. On the other hand, will it change the way I level 1, level 3, level 4 soldiers? Will it be possible to improve Assaulter level 1 to Assaulter level 2s? We describe the changes. It will be easier to faster level up soldiers, but the classification of level 1 and level 3 will remain Enlisted. Will you introduce some new monetization? I swear to God, what this question is really asking is, are you going to be charging us even more? No! Major updates planned. Notice how they say no major updates planned. But we'll remove some of the old ones. You won't be able to buy weapons, so basically they're taking some things away. Only silver, which at the same time will be purchased for gold. In kind of a way, they answer this question, and in kind of a way, they just slide past this question, which is kind of funny, but like, I'm just gonna get on. What happens to premium squads and vehicles that appear as normal levels in other campaigns? People who have purchased them will release the update, will keep them. No shiza. We will publish the full list of such premium squads shortly before the release of the update. Will there be an option in Enlisted to choose locations that you want? Basically, what the Enlisted is saying is that, or the question is saying is, can we choose locations that we want? And the answer is, we're working on that, literally. Will the squad structure change somehow? No. Will the player be somehow limited in their choice of squads in battle? For example, only one assaulter instead of the ability to take 3 or more as of now. We do not plan to make such restrictions, so basically no. What is the reward for playing a random side? A noticeable boost. Now, notice how I say a noticeable boost to experience gain. So basically, Enlisted is if you play on a random side, you're going to get a noticeable boost. Will there be a separate upgrade line for bags, grenades, and other usable items? No. If you have any other questions, there will be because certain parts of the update has not been finalized yet. So basically, Enlisted might give us even more answers. And we'll try to answer your questions in the comments and basically in the what they mean is the forums and the Discord. But that said, that's all it for this video. I will come out with a following video like on Monday saying, or 2 days from now, what I think of the update as of so far, what do I really think about it, and answering some of the questions, asking some of the questions I have, which I guess are some of the questions of the community. But that's it, that's all it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord. I'll see you in the next one.